Hey everyone, so this is me trying to beat the third palace as fast as I can. Is it perfect? No, not at all. But it's a fun little challenge if you guys want to try out on completing it as fast as you can. So my strategy is that I am doing the insta-kill method, so if you don't know about that, I went over that in my last video. And how I start the run is the moment you start moving after Makoto picks your code name, that's when the timer started. So that's where I took off. And besides that, one thing I did is that when you do the insta-kill method, there is a chance that you can recruit the personas from the palace. So the issue with that is that when you recruit them, they're about, they're in the level that they should be. So when you, after a couple fights, insta-killing mobs, they're gonna level up. And that adds extra seconds because you have to go through it in the results screen, in the insta-kill results screen. So I filled up my entire roster with all the DLC high level personas, so that way none of them will level up. I don't have to worry about missing a second because someone leveled up. The only person who levels up is Makoto, but there's nothing I can do about that. And honestly, it's whatever. And in that beginning sequence, what I did is that I ignored the first guy that I was running through because I just want to shave off a couple seconds. The thing is, the insta-kill method is just a really convenient thing, so that way you don't have to go through the battle. But you should always try to skip the enemies, as either way, if you skip the enemy entirely, that's a couple seconds you shave off, and that's really good. And I have to hit the enemy in the stairs because he's always caught me. There might be a way to not get caught, but I've always gotten caught. So I kill him, and then I move to the far left stairway, so that way the dog doesn't spot me, and I just hug the left, so that way I can just jump up and then get to the next room super easily without getting caught. Besides the insta-kill method, of course, I'm running the super broken Izanagi-no-okami because he just one-shots everything, and this is about how fast I can do it, not how pro I can do it. And also, my accessory that I'm using is the Auto Tsukukaja accessory from Kijijoji. And the reason for that is because Izanagi-no-okami had a tendency to miss here and there, and I just didn't want to miss at all. So it just helps a lot having that +1 to my accuracy. Alright, so me personally, I think this is the hardest one only because I have a tendency to bump into a lot of stuff, unfortunately, when I'm running. At least in my opinion, I think this is a harder section than the vault, and you'll see why. But one of the major reasons why is because when you're getting one of the panels, there's a lot of turns. And there's a lot of enemies in the entire hallway, so you have to hit them, unfortunately. That's why I'm not a big fan, and I think it's harder, this section of the palace. But once you get through it, it's pretty easy once you get to the vault, at least in my opinion. So here, I just ignore everyone. And what I was thinking is, again, evasion. It's all about the invasion. So I hit the switch, and then I go back. And what I try to do is limiting to 1 kill, but my hitbox is really big for the insta-kill, that's when I found out. So I was like, darn, I could have avoided him and shaved a few seconds, but it's fine. I just needed it doesn't hurt because the security goes down, and sometimes it could get a little too high if you're not careful, especially if you're just avoiding a lot of stuff and you're just walking through the spotlights. So in this one, it's a very quick one, but you gotta be careful. Like I said, there's a lot of twists and turns, so you can hit the wall by accident. It's all about just going forward, hitting that switch, as that's the first switch, and then going back, and then going to the left stairway. So a lot of the times I thought, hey, let me hit the dog that's patrolling there. But then in this run, I thought, what if I just ignored him? What if I just go straight to the door that leads me to the next panel? And that's what I did, because I thought he always spotted me, but he didn't actually, which is cool. And there's an enemy here. If there's a way to avoid him, that's cool, but I don't think you can avoid him since it's a pretty tight hallway. And there's another enemy here in this room, which I took care of. I just don't want to risk it. And then I thought the dog was gonna spot me there, but luckily he didn't. So this is usually the area that I had the most mistakes on in my previous tries. But then after this is where I thought a lot of things get easier. Also, you can start running a little bit before the cloth is unveiled, which is cool because it just gives you a little head start. As you can see there, that second time you saw that the moment it only happens when Joker, you know, transitions and then the cloth is removed. That's when you can do the head start runs. At least that's what I've noticed. So this part of the palace, I think, is the perfect example of you can just tank your way through the lights and it's literally no problem as long as if you kill one enemy, it just dips it so low and you don't have to worry about the security level going any higher. And this is usually the area where I get hit by the most lights. I don't think any other area hits me as bad, but especially since it's random, so you can't really avoid it. And you know, sometimes you get lucky, like in that upper floor, I didn't get hit by the last light just because it was off just by RNG. But it's not like it takes off any time off of you. It's just inconvenient if you just accidentally level up your security level all the way to red. And in that one, just be careful getting spotted by the dog. And you have a choice of going left or right. I recommend the left because on the right side, there's 3 enemies. And it's possible to avoid the third one, as you see here that he's there, it went away from the stairs. But there are times where I have to hit it because it's in the way. But in the left side, you're always gonna have 2 enemies. You're never gonna have a third enemy, so it's really cool. And it's a lot faster than the right side. At least that's what I think. I think the left side's faster. So here's where the vault comes in. I think it's a lot easier than the previous section of the palace. So the most inconvenient thing that can happen in this section is that you miss the timing on the keypad. And it's because it has a weird timing where if you just go a little too fast, it won't register you clicking confirm or whatever. So you just gotta be making sure that you get that groove so that way you don't miss it. So here you can just turn an immediate right, kill the enemy, go here, kill him just in case. You can probably even ignore him, but I killed him just for reinsurance in case he spotted me. I'll just go for straight for the computer. And in here, sometimes you can avoid the dog if it's not looking at you, but unfortunately it was looking at me, so I had to get rid of it. And here's it's just a straight shot. Now, most of the time I've been always trying to kill that dog, but then I thought, what if I just skip it? And that's when I figured out that you can skip it, head to that keypad where you have to put in the key, and it will cancel it out. You're not spotted anymore, and it goes back. So it's super convenient. So for the second part of this area, it's very easy, as you can just turn the immediate right, hit the dog, if you can avoid it, better, and then just jump up real quick. But also, one of the neat things added to Royo is that you can just pay your way to skip some parts of the level, which is, I mean, I'm trying to beat this as fast as I can, so of course I'm gonna pay my way through here. And then here is where I'm talking about where you can miss the timing, where you're gonna see that I thought I hit the 3, but then yeah, I didn't. So I had to go back, and yeah, it hurt a lot. That's like a second I could have shaved off, unfortunately. And then as well, another thing I screwed up on here is that I thought it was a quick just talk, which I just completely forgot to just skip. So that lost me like 2 seconds about, I wanna say, give or take. But yeah, those are my 2 oofs. And then I have one more oof, but honestly it wasn't too bad of a run. Like, it was only 3 oofs, but the most part I did everything super fast, so I was pretty happy with this run. Again, I'm not trying to hit a world record or anything like that. This is just for fun, you know, like, this is my record, you know, try to beat it, guys. So for this part, you just gotta hit the second button in this first one, and then you go to the second area, hit the first one, go back, hit the button again. Now the reason why you want to hit the first button in the first pad or whatever is because it will lead you to the area that's beyond there where the wheel seat's at, and you don't want to do that. You're gonna waste a ton of animation, it's a ton of seconds, don't do it. So remember, second, first, go back. And as well, the stairways on the right side, which I think is a little mean. I feel like they did that on purpose to confuse people, but it didn't confuse me. And again, showcasing how big of a hitbox that insta-kill is. And then this sequence is surprisingly short. All you gotta do is just go there. Like, you go to the right, and you can skip all of that. Especially because if you know all the passcodes, you don't have to get the piggy banks. So you can just go through. It's just Morgana telling you like, hey, you want to go back, and you just say, nah, I'm good, fam. Then you go here, and then of course you pay your way through because we're trying to do this as fast as possible. And then this is a sequence where you can mess up, only because I've messed up before in this part where I accidentally hit the wall and I don't hit the door like to open the door. So rip. And as well, there's multiple ways where you can turn. As you can see, I turned my camera, but I didn't turn because I was just going automatic mode, and I was like, no, you don't turn here. So that's a good thing. Remember, like, keep going forward and only try to take like a sharp turn in case you kind of forget where you're going. But just keep an eye on the map. That's what I did. I just kept an eye on the map, and I was like, nah, don't turn here. And then here comes my third oof. So when you go back, you have to turn to the right. I turned to the left. Yeah, I know, it's another like 2 seconds, unfortunately. So in total, I lost about 5 to 6 seconds for my oofs. So I could shave those off, but like I said, I'm very content at 14 minutes, 34 seconds. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty good run. And now I pass it on to you all. Can you try to beat my record? I want to see how fast people can actually beat these palaces and maybe find more creative ways than what I'm just trying to do. Or even a way where like maybe you could probably like avoid more enemies in certain areas or hit like another route so that we can hit the next area without wasting time. Anyways, if you enjoyed this, let me know if you want to see more how fast I can run palaces, because I'm totally down. This is a very fun thing and adds a little spice to Persona 5, you know? And of course, you know, just, you know, friendly competitiveness never hurts, right? Everyone trying to compare their records. So I'm very curious how fast you all can do it. So if you definitely hit like a personal record, let me know down below. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and of course, stay salty.